2,000 people in the room, because that's exactly what Mark and Tammy and the leadership had thought about what she's done within this company. We hadn't been in the business for a year, never done anything like this before, but because of things that she has done that we've been able to accomplish in that short period of time, we were actually able to go and train a room, a couple thousand people. There was more national marketing directors in the room than there are here in this room. Okay, and that's what they thought, and it basically comes down to the success that my wife has had, and so she's been a top recruiter, was #1 on the charts 1 month, has been on the top 25 list a number of times, been top customer, because we're all about getting customers in this business. That's what really drives your business, top weekly check earner. So very blessed to bring her up. We're going to do a mic switch here real quick, and welcome Natalie.
Wow, that was awesome. My husband, he's a superstar. So first off, I have to say, I have to thank him for sure. Not for saying all those nice things, but I love to get up in front of him in the morning and tell him that he was wrong about something. I love to be right. I love to tell people that I, guessed the right number of jelly beans in the jar, anything like that. I love to be right. So I love to say, you were wrong about that, but everything he just stood in front of you and said was absolutely true. So the fact that somebody that's never had any experience with anything, sales, belief, I started this business with zero belief that I would be up at training in front of people, telling them how to build a business. I remember the first regional that I ever went to, I sat on the front row just thinking like, wow, I shouldn't have sat on the front row. Like, I'm a little bit too close. Like, it was so foreign to me. But had my husband not always just had a belief that companies and businesses and opportunities like this were good, I probably would have never took a look. Even after I loved the product, I still had a lot of fear that maybe if it was or wasn't for me. And he basically just smacked me and said, just try it. What do you have to lose? And I was like, well, I don't know. I just don't want to tell people that I'm going to do it and then not have any success. I had fear of what people thought of me. But as a kid growing up, I used to say, I don't care what people think of me. I don't care what people think of me. But as you get older, you do care about what people think of you. So your own fear in your mind just says, no, let me just play it safe. Let me not say yes to it. So I just want to first ask the room. I'm going to first, before I get into product prospecting and all of the how-tos and what I say, I had somebody came up to me at the market party last night. I can't wait to hear how you get so many customers, so many brand partners. And I thought, I can't wait to tell you that. But guess what? The only person that's going to take any information and put it to use is you. And guess what? We really already have all the information. I'm going to stand in front of you tomorrow and tell you the same things that you've already heard. If you're brand new, maybe you haven't been to a regional yet, you maybe haven't heard them live, but if you've been on a call or if you've watched new brand partner training, then you've already heard Tammy Smith tell you what I'm about to tell you. But we have to hear it over and over. So there's two people in the room that exist right now. If you have a Lexus and you don't have a Lexus. So I need a show of hands if you have a Lexus, because I'm going to talk to you one way, okay? So there's a significant amount. And then people who don't have one yet. That's the rest of you, obviously. Awesome. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're either one or the other. My brother said to me whenever I got started, well, I don't like Lexuses. And I said, that really doesn't matter. It's a free car. Set it in your garage. Sell it 4 years later and go buy whatever car or boat or contraption you want. I don't care if you like Lexuses or not. But for the fact of the matter is, if you haven't earned your car yet, you're going to, okay? So if you don't think you can, you can. Anybody can. We have a 63-year-old farmer who doesn't wear makeup, whose hair is down to here, and she was besides me earning my car, she was the next person who did it. And when I met her, I thought, whoa, nobody, this isn't a fluke. It's not, oh, Natalie can do it. I mean, we couldn't be more different. She followed the system. I followed the system. I high-fived her, and I was like, wow, you're on my team. I would have never even known you. But somebody that I sponsored that sponsored her, she went and made it happen, okay? So if you're sitting in the room and you're thinking, oh my goodness, I hope I can get my first 3 brand partners. If not, their 3 brand partners, and you are going to drive a Lexus. I can't guarantee you how long it's going to take you. But the faster you believe it and the faster you get out there and share with people, guess what? I just got started with Nerium. Don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to be driving a free Lexus. I'm going to have leveraged income, and I'm going to all do it part-time while being a fabulous mom or a fabulous employee or whatever you're already doing. But if you believe it and you go tell people, it's going to happen fast. Okay? If it takes you 6 months of personal development and reading and reading and reading to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am a Nerium brand partner that's going to drive a free Lexus, then it might take you 6 months to get to the point. But if you can leave today knowing that that's what you are and you can go share it with people, when you're doing your 2 a day and you're promoting the product with, hey, guess what? Real soon I'm going to be driving a free Lexus from this amazing opportunity and company, and you're excited and you own that, people listen, you guys. If you walk up to somebody, I mean, the only secret to me with sharing is either here's what I'm going to do. I had a gal on my team, she was just really close to earning her Lexus, and she goes, what can I do, Natalie? I've talked to everybody, and I'm just so close. And she was kind of deflated. I said, call everybody on that list and tell them you're about to earn your car. You've already told them about it. Now go call them and tell them you're about to do it. Guess what? She did. And guess what? All those people that she said no to, I said, great, now you're going to call them again. All those people who you said you were going to, call them back again and say, guess what? I did it. That's what it's about, you guys. It's about saying, why did you get involved? What is that why? Because it will evolve over time. And if it's as little as a Mexico vacation, I told a lot of people launching my business that I found a way to be able to take my family on a vacation once a year, and I was going to do it all while doing the same things I was doing. And that's what I was going to do. That was as big as my why was. I never called anybody in the beginning and said, I'm going to retire my husband from his 6-figure income, all while being a stay-at-home mom. I mean, that wasn't my plan. I didn't think that that was possible. But over time, you betcha, about 7 months in, when, we were recruiting brand partners, I was calling people saying, I am stinking blown away. Look where we're at now. Nick's about to be able to quit his job. We've over-surpassed his income. And we've got this bonus. We have this many people that we've helped drive a car. I was telling people that. So when he says that your philosophy and in your mind is, that's all you need to think to is that milestone, okay? Some people, they don't care really about the car, so they're not really driven by that, but the people who you talk to are, okay? If I lined up from here to the back of the room and walked by everybody and said, if I told you you could get a free Lexus with a company, would you be interested? Pretty much all but 3 would be no, I'm really not that interested. So you might not be a car person or care about driving a free luxury vehicle. Average American would love not having a car payment and have a brand new car that always runs, that's under warranty. I mean, it's a cherry that if you dangle it, many people get excited about that. So definitely talk about it. If you already have it, your why has maybe grown, you need to share your story. You need to share where you're going. I would say to people, I'm helping strangers earn a Lexus. I'd love to help you since you're my friend. I was crying at the dealership 2 weeks ago when this gal who was this, and I shared their story, got to pick up a free car, but it would have been so much better if it was you. I mean, I've known you ever since I was a kid. I would much rather have experienced that with you. And they're going, wow, So very, very simply stated, you've got to share more than just, hey, check it out. Let me know if you're interested. I mean, that just doesn't really work. So I joke around that I call it my spirit stick. Other people just, I have one person on our team, they're like, I'm not really that excited of a person. And I'm like, I don't care. You have to get excited for people to listen. And I told them last night, I said, she goes, but people would think I'm crazy. I said, if you're not an excited person and you call a friend of yours and you're excited, they're going to think, what the heck got into her? And they might take a look. So either way, it's a win-win situation. If you're always excited about everything, then great. And if you're not, they're going to think, what's up with that? I mean, could it be that good that, Charlie called me and he's like, talking about all this stuff. Never heard him say 2 words in his life. They're really going to be like, okay, check that out. So set up that expectation, know where you're going, envision it, have it out there. I talk about it all the time. People say, the reason why you've sponsored so many people is because you tell everybody. And I said, duh. Like, I mean, no one doesn't know what I do, that I'm helping people. I get referrals from people that this is so not from them, for them, but I've shared so much about it because they might change their mind. Half the people we sponsor into the business said no, 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 but when I kept saying, here's what I'm going to do. I'm about to go here and, get this bonus, and then they see on my, cover photo, whoop, here you are, what I said I was going to do, I did, and they keep following, and then they call me back saying, okay, I'm in. What are you talking about? So, but if I had never shared with them in the beginning what my vision of where I was going was, and then accomplished it, they would have never even been interested. So it's all about a journey. So the more you say that what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, they see it. It's multiple exposures. It takes sometimes people 8, 9, 10 times. Even to use the product. I mean, I show somebody a before and after picture of the product and how great it is, and they still always say to me, I hope it works for me. I'm like, well, it will if you put it on, because I'm so sure that it works, but that's, the average person is still going, I just don't know, maybe that picture was the lighting, or this one, or that one. I had somebody who has seen before and after pictures, after before and after pictures. She's seen people that she's known use the product. Finally, she said, I really believe it works. Can you sign me up as a customer? And I just thought, how many times does it take? That is just so crazy to me. But guess what? She's a customer. She's a happy user of the product. She now believes it works, and she'll be a customer for the rest of our entire whole business. So I'm going to jump into product prospecting system. The amazing part is if you're brand new, you have a product in a box at your house, okay? If you're not brand new, then free bottles are being mailed to you, okay? And if you haven't got any bottles in the mail this month, it's because you haven't shared the ones that are at your house right now, okay? So somebody says, well, I'm not really getting that much free product. Okay, well then you have product at your house, right? And they always go, well yeah, I got about 6 bottles. Okay, and they all have the leaf still in them. So we need to go take the bottles, we need to go find the list, we got to get them out to people. So back in our business, we would get started, we would show up to real results parties where people were bribing people to come to the party by giving away free product. Or at market parties, they would say, we're going to do a drawing for bottles. I'm like, why is anybody giving their bottles away, okay? Why give it to the person when you're trying to get them as a customer, okay? That just doesn't make any sense to me. I've never ever given away bottles. Those are your employees. They're valuable to you. They'll go expose more people. Why would I give it to one person so she can experience it for a month when I could go take it to 4 or 5 different people? I don't understand that. So the product prospecting system is the now, it's your execute of now you've envisioned it, you're going to be talking about it, but how are you going to accomplish that? Put the product into people's hands. Let it do the work for you. And don't sit and go, oh yeah, whenever my team needs bottles, they always call me. I mean, seriously, I don't care if you're a director or if you're a senior brand partner, director, SD, ED, R&D, whatever, never have product. Get it out to people. I'm always like, who's next on my list? I am mailing product, I'm picking up product all the time. And if I ever fall into a little, hole where I'm like, wait, what's wrong with my business? I'm like, who's trying the product right now? Nobody. And I always go back to this. So the product prospecting system is something you do on a daily basis. You're always thinking, who has my bottles? Where are they? When am I picking them up? Doesn't matter what rank you are, or how big your bonuses are, or anything like that. I would say that anybody that is a brand partner right now has the amount of product probably that's in the success pack. So either you just got started and you have a success pack, or you have the amount of product that you could reach out. So, with this, you see about 18 prospects. 18 people try our product, you have yeses. So if you don't like being discouraged and down and hearing no all the time, well then maybe you should share more bottles, because you just can't. It's like a numbers game. And I have fun with this. I love when I hear all the different things, I remember in the beginning, I heard some of the craziest, it gave me a headache. I have nightmares when I use it. Weird things. I look like pepperoni pizza. Anyone young in the room on Instagram that night, she posted a selfie. No pepperoni pizza anywhere. You know what I mean? But like, people are just funny. They're trying to figure out a way to say no. So anytime I have like some crazy, bogus, whatever, I just write it down. I think that they're so funny. Guess what? So many of those people have joined my business. Really? Did the nightmares go away after I earned my Lexus? Like, how did the product not give you nightmares anymore? Was it when I, was that drop off of the kids and you saw the car? Oh, that's funny how it works like that. So a lot of times it's just their way of saying no. I don't know why people just have a hard time saying N-O. I would much rather just hear no thank you, not ready, than to hear their crazy response. So I just laugh about it. The more success you have, the more people just say to you, I know it works, I've watched all of it, I don't even need to try it, don't need it for my face. Nobody makes up silly excuses. So everybody that watches you in the journey, I kind of laugh because it's always the new brand partner that hears all that crazy stuff. It's never the person that's product prospecting once they've had success in the business. It's always in the first. So with my personal brand partners, I'm always like, tell me the funny things you hear because I'm not getting it anymore and I want a good laugh. Post on Facebook all those crazy things people say. Keep a list of them because they'll be in your business a year from now. As long as you don't quit. That's the secret, is that those people will follow you and they might join you later, but if you quit, then they're going to be on somebody else's team. That has happened, you guys. A person that got down in the dumps and, they didn't sample all 18 people with our product. They just had mom and sister try it and they were both really down and negative. So they were like, oh, maybe this isn't for me. And they got really scared and quit. And their best friend from high school is now a national marketing director in Nerium. Would have been on their team, but it's kind of sad, really. But here's the Premier Pack. So obviously, the more products you have, they're employees. They're out working for you. So I always tell people our product prospecting system is like 4 to 5 days to let people try it. I know in my business, I've been trying to hit certain goals or things that I had in my in my mind for the end of the month, and say I'm coming down, and I always have like a personal recruiting goal for brand partners, new customers, things like that going on in my business. So I always get to the window where I'm like, whoop, 24-hour experience. Wait, what? They don't know how many days you let Sally over here try it and this person over here try it. I'm sorry, I have a long list of people, and I really want you to get to see it and try it and smell it and touch it, but I'm going to drop it off tonight and I'm going to run back tomorrow and get it because I have a ton of people waiting. Guess who's going to be like, you have so many people? Like, is it that great that I can only have this for a night? Set up a large amount of expectation and piqued interest with your person. I never just say, oh yeah, Nerium, oh here you go, try it. I'm like, oh gosh, I'll add you to my list. I've got a ton of people waiting. Maybe I can see if I can get this one. I'll let you know as soon as I know. Even though I might have a new bottle sitting on my counter that I'm going to take, on my cabinet that I'm going to take right to her. I don't just always go, oh, we have all this free product. I'll get you some. Make it very, very valuable. And so I always just say, say you've gone through here and you've got 3 days to fast start qualify, and they say, oh, I can't let anybody try it, and this person hasn't, and they said this. I'm like, 24-hour Nerium experience, baby. It's on the flyer. You can hand them 24-hour power, and you say, awesome, I'm dropping it off today. I'll pick it up tomorrow. And a lot of people just need to touch it and see it. That's why it works. That's why the product prospecting system works, because I don't have to sell anything. I would much rather share something than sell. And so running through that, definitely 54 people, if you expose to day and night cream for any given time, whether it's a day or 5 days or 7 days, I always just say, I'll give you some of my secret weapon tools. One is create that huge sense of urgency. I have a huge list of people waiting, but you're my favorite, so I decided to put you to the top. Oh, you're one of my best friends, so I'm going to take it to you before I go to these she's going to use it night 1, night 2, night 3. I always say your bottles, they're like your children. If you drop them off at a friend's house to stay for 5 days, would you just show back up 5 days later and say, were they good for you? No. You would say the first night, how were they tonight? Did they go to bed okay? Okay, in the morning, what time did they get up? This and that. So your bottles are like your kids, babysitter. The more attention and time you give to your kids while they're being babysat, the better it'll be when you pick them up, right? You know, you really have to say, okay, night 1, what time do you normally go to bed? Okay, cool. Like you're texting them, you know, what time do you normally go to bed? Okay, about 30 minutes before that, you're like, it's almost bedtime, Nerium time, you're gonna love it, you know. Just have a lot of contact with them. The more I stay in touch with my person trying the product, the better. Okay, so day 2, I'm checking on them saying, oh my gosh, I feel like my skin's already smoother. I can tell it's smooth. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite parts. You've got to hear my friend's so-and-so story. She used it, she said the same thing. Now she's actually in the business. Let me grab her. Oh, you're gonna love her story. So even while the person's trying the product, I'll get into 3-way calls, but that is a perfect time. They're in the midst of thinking about it, using it, they're in the rhythm. So I'm like, oh, you know, day 2, 3, they say something positive about the product. I'm like, oh yeah, my friend so-and-so loved that too. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love her story. Like she's had a lot of people use the product, grab her on the phone for a few minutes. And then the secret weapon of picking up the bottle is not saying, how'd you like it? What do you think? Any of those crazy things that I used to do. I remember picking up my first bottle from like my chicken lister, like real scared. She has a lot of money, a lot of friends. I like really wanted her to do it. And I remember walking up to the door going, what do I say? What do I say? What do I say? And I got to the door and I was like, so what'd you think? And I remember she just like went and was like, well, I have really oily skin and I did this, and it was just this huge saga. And I just remember going, okay. Getting the bottle and walking back to the car, all deflated, like that was gonna be my brand partner. She was gonna like lead me to the, you know, gold mine of like all of Edmond, Oklahoma, where I live, because I'm not from there and I don't know anybody. But here, I don't know, it's probably 6 months into my business where I heard this. And it's just a simple sentence. And the people that trust me and just say this will have a car really soon, okay? The people who go, wait, what did she say again? Or not use it, they'll just say there's no difference. You can say this or this. There's a big difference. What was your favorite part? That's it. There's no, don't get creative, don't change it. You don't even have to shoot the breeze beforehand. I just show up as soon as they open the door. I say, oh my gosh, what was your favorite part? And they tell me something good. And when they tell me something good, then I say, oh, awesome, I love that too. Okay, I want you to get your own. Try it for 30 days. There's a money-back guarantee. All I need is like your info. And I'm taking the bottle from them, and I have my app in my hands. I almost enroll all my preferred customers right on my phone, right when I have the bottle. I don't say, you know, I'm going to send you the info of how to get it, or I'll send you my website, or any of that stuff. I mean, just throw it out the window. Nobody's going to go to your website and order the product. Take care of your customers, okay? So when I'm taking it away from them, I don't even get into it with them. I just say, awesome, now you've experienced it for 5 days. You'll die when you see your 30-day result. If not, you get all your money back anyway, so you don't have anything to lose. Okay, cool. And I'm like entering their info, and we're getting it taken care of. Same thing when I share any information, video, anything. What was your favorite part? I don't want to know anything else. I don't want to know what their least favorite part was. I don't want to know about what their skeptical husband said about it last night when they kind of got excited and got in bed and they slapped it down. But when I say, what's your favorite part, they're not going to say, oh, my husband said da-da-da-da-da. I'll just leave that. You know, we'll talk about all good things. And so promoting the opportunity. This mastering the 2-a-day system, like Nick said, we're always continually learning. So every single time I've got a group of people on my team and they're so excited, hey, can you take a picture? And I'm like, hold on. I'm over picking a national marketing director's brain, trying to figure out how we could do something better to help my team. That was how I heard about this. So the Mastering 2-a-day system I've been training on, I've been doing for a long time. And I see that will, I every time I'm training a new partner, we're going over it. This was like total game changer for me, especially because Nick and I love to be competitive. So raise your hand in the room if you do this with your spouse at all. I mean, maybe you do it more, but they do it. Okay, that's like kind of wimpy. Wow. We got to change that. This is really fun to do this with somebody alongside. It's competitive. Who likes to win? Who likes to be right? Okay, definitely need some tag team opportunities. So take this wheel right here, peak interest, use a third-party tool. Don't get confused. Don't use your mouth. That's not a third-party tool. Somebody else's mouth is a third-party tool, but not your own. So duct tape it. Set the follow-up. Sponsor. Wow. It wasn't like there's no going out or in. So if somebody ends up being right here, they're going to stay out there until they get sponsored. I really, truly believe that everybody is going to do Nerium. That might be the difference between me and another person. Is they might stand up and say, you're just looking for the people who want it and it's not for everybody. I'm like, oh yeah, it is for everybody. I really believe that. Either the product's for you because you have a face or a bum now that we have Nerium fur. But I really believe it's for you. And I'll just love you until you decide it's for you. And the business opportunity can be for you on a lot of different levels. Maybe it's the $200. Maybe it's you never dreamed that somebody could make $500,000, and someday when I make $500,000, they'll believe that it's real. I don't know, but I believe that it's kind of for everybody. So here's what I want you to do when you go home today. I'm challenging you to take a poster board, or foam board, or whiteboard, or any blank big thing that you can put in front of you and draw this same thing. So what's it going to look like? Just like this. You're going to write peak interest, use third-party tools, set follow-up, three-way call, sponsor. So here's what you do. Every single day, since that's so big and you can't ignore it, it's just a reminder of your business, you're going to take a sticky note. And when you're talking to somebody about the product or the opportunity, you write their name and the date. So if your spouse says they're going to do 2 a day and you walk over to the board and there's only one with the date May 28th or whatever the date is, then you only did 1 that day. You didn't get 2 that day. So that's where kind of the competition comes in. The other thing that Nick and I love to do is say, well, have you followed up with them? Have you followed up with them? Have you followed up with them? Instead of like going to work like your own people, you're like, remember that person? And so you love to kind of, be babysitting the other person's job, or maybe even just a running buddy. So take the Post-it notes. You're going to be able to keep up with what they've seen, what they thought. If you're doing 2 a day, and at the end of the month when you're trying to hit a goal, you think you only have 3 people, and they all said no, and so you're discouraged, you didn't do 2 a day. Okay? So the thing that I like about having like the visual 2 a day wheel is because I have a whole lot of people that might say yes. And I have a whole lot of people that I know I'm trying to get on 3-way calls, and so I'm like, hey, I'm nailing down an expert, and I'm going to call people for 30 minutes and know that they're available. I'm always constantly looking at that wheel, so I'm never forgetting. I mean, raise your hand in the room if you think you've shared it a lot of times, but you're not seeing all the results. Like, are you following up with every single person that you share it with? No. I mean, do you think that people have fallen through the cracks? Or, you started your business 6 months ago, you shared it with people, and you haven't reached back out to them again? So this wheel is just, to me, that visual tool. A lot of people on our team are doing it. We have a lot of recruiting going on. We have this working because it's so, like, right there. Your business is real. It's not just something that is on the side. It's like, cool, this is important to me. Whether it's the trip or whatever it is, this is your why right here in live action. I got to share it with people, and I've got to use third party. I've got to do 3-way calls with these people, and it's mastering the system. So, okay, that's exactly what it is, mastering the system, and having the visual tool I think really, really helps. So raise your hand if you think that helps. Who's going to have a visual wheel? Wow! This place is going to be 3 times the size by next month because you're going to go sponsor somebody and they're going to be sitting next to you. Like, that's awesome. That excites me. So now I'm going to kind of go over like what some of those tools are. So when you say, use a third party or share a third party tool, that can be the product. These Success from Home magazines are your very best friend. I like somebody to see the magazine and be a little bit interested, and then say, the product is, I mean, it is hard to get hands on my product because so many people want it, but I'll let you know as soon as I have a bottle, okay? They're gonna go home and read the magazine. If you whip out a bottle, magazine, day cream, night cream, firm, here, try it, you know, like, you're not gonna probably read the magazine. So Success from Home magazine is that third-party credibility, like it's a magazine, it's not a Nerium thing, we've been featured in it, it's a great, great tool. Make sure you have your information on it. If you create it with a sense of urgency, people will read it. If you throw it out like it's candy, no. To add people to my wheel, I have to have their number and their name, so that means I can't hand my magazine to somebody without getting a name and a number. I can't put, I dropped it off at Starbucks and not go on my wheel because I don't know how I would follow up, right? So that's really, really important. If you're going to spend the money to have this magazine, then you might as well have some way to check on it, you know? Babysit the magazine. Sometimes I say to somebody, well, this is super, super important to me and my business. I can only let you have it for 24 hours because I have to take it to somebody else. I can't get my hands on enough of these, and a lot of people want them. Then they might read it, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to take my 350 magazine to somebody else and do the same thing. So invest into your business by having magazines. If you haven't used the magazine program, it's changed people's businesses, especially that maybe don't have the confidence of where this is going. It's kind of like a safety net. It's like, okay, I think I can really do that. So make sure you have your information on it. You do not want somebody signing up on somebody else's team because they read your magazine that you bought. Okay, so don't be ignorant. I've seen a lot of people. I had a regional last month that we had a market party the night before, and she's like, I am so excited. I got a call today from somebody who saw my magazine in a doctor's office, and she's coming tonight. She goes, but I have no idea what she looks like, and she has no idea what I look like, so I hope she can find me. And I'm like, that'll be interesting. Like, are you just gonna say, who saw the magazine at the doctor's office? I mean, I was like, that's kind of funny. Like, you really don't know somebody. So I've actually been telling people, like, get a label created that you have, like, a good picture of you. Because if you're really using these right, hopefully it lands into somebody's hands that you've never met and you've never talked to. It's called third party. That would be amazing. So that's just an idea. You don't have to do it. But I want to do that. So then when I'm going to be sponsoring and meeting people all over that don't know me, they're going to go, oh, that's the gal. That's whose magazine I got. And maybe they'll even be more apt to even call you because they kind of feel like, you know, real estate agents, they have their picture. All these people that they're trying to get leads, cold market, always use a picture. So I'm like, that's kind of brilliant. We should maybe do that. The lead capture pages we're using like crazy. The other day I walked in to drop my girls off to dance, and I don't even, a lot of the times don't get out of the house as a stay-at-home mom. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to dance today, so I gotta get magazines. I gotta be getting my 2 in because I'm sure there'll be people there. And I walked in with this already up on my phone, and I was like, I'll just get the exposure made. I'll get them into the capture page. And I immediately get a text leaving, guess you're doing your job today, because they already got the email that, you know, this person's into the capture page. Nick knows I'm doing my job. Got my 2 in that day, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. So the lead capture page is something that I use instead of sitting there and fumbling around and like, now, what's your name? What's your email? Write it down. I mean, there's times that I've, you know, talked to the waiter or waitress and I've had them write it on a napkin. By the time I get to the car, I don't even know where the napkin is. Like, I don't know if maybe that's just a mom, like a scattered brain. You know, you're grabbing kids and you're just like, man, that was a waste. Like, they were pretty excited. I don't know where their name or their number or their email is. And so the capture page for me is just to stay organized. So you can have this up. There's a product one. There's a business one. I mean, I think that the new Sizzle video does a great job of not being like too much business or too much product. So most of the time I'm always just sending them to my, you know, a real breakthrough. I have it up, I immediately enter them in, it sends it to them, it's gonna let me know when they start watching it. And I mean, that's working really, really great for us. It's super time efficient, goes really easy on your phone. So it would be your username, whatever your website name is, your normal.nerium.com with the tag a real breakthrough instead of nerium.com. So that's how to get to your capture pages. The other one is the Nerium look. You do have these for US and Canada. So I know some people who overhear somebody saying Canada, it's kind of a hard first leap to go, let me tell you about Nerium. Well, wow, because you haven't done it yet. So when you hear the word Canada, just go challenge yourself. Oh, hey, you know somebody from Canada? Hey, my company just extended and just launched a whole new division there. We share a product called Optimera. I would love to send that person some more info. Like, it's a great opportunity for Canada just because our company just extended there. That's all you really need to say. Just send the information. You can follow back up with them because now you have their info there. Okay, so like Nick talked about the power of duplication within a team. The power of duplication within our system of talking to 2 new people a day, the product prospecting system. I mean, the coolest thing is that if I can share 6 bottles of product at any given time, that's great. I'm going to get some customers, hopefully a brand partner. But if I can get 10 people to share 6 bottles every day, that's way more time than I have. I can't do that. I can't babysit all those bottles, however many. I can't do math at all. So there's no way I would be able to keep up with that. But if you could get a team of 3 people even just product prospecting or handing out magazines, that's where your team really grows. That's where the leveraged income in that slide really does. So you can only do 2 a day. I have somebody on my team who told me I have 3 jobs. I said, awesome, you're always around people. So we just need to talk to 2 of them between any of those 3 jobs, and soon you're going to be done with 1 of those jobs, and you're only going to have 2. And then over time, you won't have 2 jobs anymore, you'll just have 1. And you'll be able to see your grandkids more. She said that I asked her things that she wanted to do during the summer that she wasn't going to get to do because of her 3 jobs. And so we kind of pinpointed some of those things. And so those were the goals that she was working towards. Anybody can do 2 a day. You can do 10 a week. You can do 40 a month, but track them. Because if right now what is today, the 7th? By July 7th, if you have 40 people on your wheel, you're going to have a business. Are you kidding me? This product and this company is too big and too awesome for that not to, fast start qualify you. Nick and I challenge ourselves every month to fast start qualify. So if I ask somebody new on my team to get 3 brand partners and 3 customers and get their product for free, why can't I do that? I have a success story. I've done it before. I have confidence. That's my goal every month. Like, why would I tell a new brand partner to do it, but I wouldn't be willing to do it? If you're doing this, you will have 3 brand partners a month. You can really, really do that. And it doesn't matter how many months you've done it. I'm out of people. It's like, no. You never run out of people. Like, this is Kansas City. Are you kidding me? No one in this room can say they're out of people. This is a really, really, really big city. I was like, on my way here, I was trying to get a girl to come to our market event, and I was messaging back and forth with her, and she was trying to ask me, like, where are parties we have. So we had a party last night, we have a party tonight, we have 2 tomorrow, and all of them are like almost 2 hours from where she lives. And her Facebook was saying Kansas City. I just didn't even realize, like, that's a really, really big market. This is like, we need to be like in an arena, some sporting arena or something with as many people can be here in this company, in this opportunity. So let's imagine that. Raise your hand if you're here and you have somebody else on your team besides you. Okay, wow, I think it should be more than that. Let me say it again. Is there anybody on your team? Do you have a team? Okay, great. So let's work on the power of duplication, because if you had 10, then 400 names would be on a wheel this month. Do you think that you could get a fast start qualify number of this, or do you think that you could have new starts? Do you think that you'd be growing? For sure. It would be impossible. Ouch. That's not good. Anybody can do this. I hate when people say that. I don't know. Can you click on the one I'm at? Well, what can I tell you? From Dillard's. That's one thing. If you want to know a fun fact about me, almost every time I go anywhere, somebody's like, you have the best shoes. I'm like, please tell my
There you
husband.
go.
He's not on board with a cute shoe problem.
She said problem.
So part of our dream board, dream house is a closet. I have a large list of things that I want in the closet, like a whole getting ready area and how the shoes are gonna look. And Nick's just like one separated from mine. So like every house plan we've ever looked at, he's like, nope, won't work. And I'm like, ooh, the entertaining area. And he's like, no, closet. Remember, all I want is a door to mine that's separate from yours. Because my 4-year-old told me just this week, can you please not take that off in my room because I don't like clothes on my floor like yours. I was like, oh, wow. That's awesome. It made my mom happy. She says it skips generations, so she's like, yay, give it to me, your memories. Okay, so back to this. So if you have a team of 30 and you have 1,200 people trying Nerium 80 night cream and day cream on their face for 5 to 7 days, you think your business can grow? Yeah, our product's awesome. Better yet, text out a picture of Firm. Hello, like this is like gold. I mean, I was talking to somebody this week talking about the division. Like we've never had division in Nerium. I've had more people this week say to me, I wasn't ever interested in that stuff before. Sign me up. Can I get a kit with just that? Can I just sell that? I said, no, you'd be crazy to. But if you want to talk to people about that, they'll be led to the other later. Because when they see one thing work, they'll naturally say, oh, maybe I should get that other. And so I won't even talk about that with this, but the power of duplication, 15,600 exposures. Good ones that you can follow up with and do a 3-way call and sponsor, not just talk about it. And the more you can pique your interest in it, that's why I went into that in the first, by telling your story. You don't have to talk for an hour, but tell them why you're doing it and what, for me when I started out, I'll give you one more example about piquing people's interest. For me, there was a story that made me want to do the business. And it was on a 3-way call. She told me her story, and I guess we'll kind of get into 3-way calls here in a little bit. But she said, I got started, I was a stay-at-home mom forever that didn't go to college. I was like, whoop, that was me. And then I got started with this because the product worked. That's kind of me because I'm thinking that it's working. And she said, and then I just started sharing it. I never sold anything. Check. And 6 months later, I was making a 6-figure income. And I was like, what? What does that even look like? You make over $10,000 a month in 6 months? That's what made me start, okay? I was just like, wow. So when I got started, I asked her, so, okay, there's only like 6 ranks to National Marketing Director, so that means that every single month you rank advanced. And she's like, yeah, I did. So I was like, wow, that's crazy, because like some people say it takes a year, so you did it in half a year. So when I got started in the business, that was my goal. I told people, you can be making 6 figures in 6 months. Did I do it? Nope. Did it in 7. Who cares? Did I hit my goal? Yeah. So when you tell people your goal, it doesn't matter if you don't hit it, because you're going to hit it because you're out there telling people. I am so excited that I did it in 7 months. I would have been so excited if I did it in 12 months. There's people ecstatic they did it in 27 months. It doesn't matter. But if I wasn't willing to say that I was going to be there, it maybe would have never happened. So, on to that. Magazine program. Oh, I can't go back. I talked a little bit about the magazine program. This is a guaranteed auto delivery of a magazine that's going to guarantee you make $5,000 in commission. So the only example I give is, the skeptical husband that's like, babe, you've tried selling everything, honey. You've never made any money. It's like, okay, great. I'm going to get started in Nerium. I'm really excited. This program's for you. Because your husband that just invested $500 or $1,000 is guaranteed to make $5,000. So in 12 months, he can't ever say that to you again. So if you're thinking, I don't know if I can sell this because of my track record, go share Success from Home magazine, 20 of them a month, names, numbers, enter into Communication Center. The reason why we have this program is because we don't think we're going to be cutting a lot of checks for the opposite. You'll do it. You'll go make it, and you'll be like, husband, what do you think about me now? You know, I mean, we have so many people on our team that said they have tried selling everything and they've never made any money. And they fast start qualifying, they earn iPads, they're driving Lexuses, they're blown away. They go to bed every night just with chills, like, I can't believe I'm actually doing it. Like, because it builds so much confidence. So if this is you, I mean, the magazine auto ship is absolutely the way for you. A lot of people that get started in this end up dropping off of the auto ship, not because it didn't work, but because they need more magazines and they buy them at regionals, like in bulk and, you know, different events. And they don't have to do the guarantee because they're making well over that a month. Per month, they've surpassed the $5,000 in an actual month. The blitz calls we use all the time. I think people underuse them, or they just create a little Facebook post. Dial this number. Guess who's going to go on your Facebook and see that little cute image and dial that number? No one. Okay? Facebook is a great way to share information and get exposures, but it's not going to work for the blitz. So here's what I like to do. Especially because now we've been involved with Nerium for a year. So if you're new, it's really easy to make exposures, and I think sometimes when people have done it for a while and they have people on their list, they're like, they know what I do, what do I say? So for the blitz calls, I reach out to people and I say, you know I've been doing Nerium for a while. You either did or didn't try the product. I mean, I'm saying versatile conversations can go on, but I've been doing Nerium for a while, and I'm really having a ton of fun, okay? And I really just want you to know what I'm actually doing. Because from the outside, you probably think I'm just selling skincare, and you think you might not be interested, but we've got a call coming up that's going to share with more about what it's really doing, and I just want you to listen to it, just so you can know what I'm really doing, okay? Nobody's offended by that. Nobody's like, hey, you're trying to sign me up. Are you kidding me? I just want to share with you what I'm really doing, what I'm actually really a part of. And who knows, okay? And so I actually say, what does your schedule look like this afternoon? And they say, okay, I'm free from this time to this time. Oh, perfect, we have one that's going to fall perfect then. So I never say 9 to 9 on the hour, whatever's good for you, because that's not going to work either. So I always just ask, sometimes before I even say what it is, I say, hey, do you have any free time this afternoon? And they'll say, oh yeah, when the kids go down for a nap. Well, what time do your kids normally nap? Oh, they usually nap from this time to this time. Oh, awesome. We just happen to have something today at that time. I want you to hear about what I'm really doing. And I just merge them on at that time. So I don't give them, some trainers you'll hear, grab a pen, write it down. I don't know if I just have flaky friends or what, but it has not worked. So when they say that they can, I just call them at that time, and I three-way call in the blitz line, listen to it together. As soon as it ends, I say, hey, do you want me to send you more information over? I can, email you a video. You can take a look at it. Maybe you and your husband can watch it together. Do you want to try the product? I might set up a product prospecting drop off and pick up, things like that after the call's over. So we really, really use those a lot. How do you close a week? You go to your wheel, you gap people onto the line, and get some people signed up. Close a weekly check, get paid. That's the reason why we have blitz calls all day on Wednesday, is to really make that happen. So the three-way call. So let me just say, when I got started, as much as I wanted to have success, I was a real stubborn little gal, okay? I got signed up by doing a three-way call, yet I was like, three-way calls are so weird. My friends would think three-way calls are weird. Well, it worked for me. Why did I have that, hold up in my mind? So I really had a hard time. So when I first got started, I was able to recruit people, but then it wasn't duplicating as fast. They weren't able to do what I just did, but I had been a researcher. The reason why I didn't fast start qualify is because I was going to learn everything about Nerium, because I used to be a hairstylist and I know all about products, and so I needed to be able to tell everybody all the ingredients and blah, 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 and be able to talk somebody's ear off. So that's the reason why I didn't fast start qualify, is because I was becoming the, Nerium encyclopedia. I needed to know how the quote plan worked and how much commissions were this, in case anybody ever had a question. So I was, not using the third party because I was figuring it all myself. And then I was doing that to my person I was signing but then they didn't know because they weren't psycho crazy like me and get in and research it all. So they didn't know what to tell people, and then they weren't using me on the three-way call because I didn't sponsor them on a three-way call. So I started doing it a little bit differently. I'm not ever signing you up until you've talked to somebody else. So say maybe I messed up and they said yes and I was about to enroll them and I was sitting in front of my computer, I would say, ooh, hold on, I'm trying to get logged in right now, but in the meanwhile, I want you to hear my friend's story. And I would just do it because they needed to see it before I got them started, because then when I go through their brand partner training and I tell them how easy this is going to be, they're going to just ignore that part. They'll just avoid it because it hadn't been done to them, so they thought it was really weird. So a lot of different ways, maybe just to hear a success story, maybe somebody to relate to. I feel like every time I'm sponsoring somebody, they have some type of objection to overcome. Well, you know, I see you and Nick do this together. My husband would never have any part of it. Oh, awesome. I want you to hear my friend Sarah. Her and her husband, you know, have been friends of ours for a long time. He is like, you know, engineer extraordinaire, and, you know, Sarah's husband doesn't help her with Nerium at all. He's very, very successful, and she just does this, but I want you to hear her story. So I'll just take whatever they just said or the objection and just match them in my head immediately. If you're not coming to events and meeting other brand partners, you'll not have enough stories to maybe match that. So that's kind of your job here, is to get to know people, get to know their stories, hear about how they got started, hear about their success, so then you can be sharing those on three-way calls. Answer questions. If somebody asks me a question, I can say, oh, that's an awesome question. I love how so-and-so explains it. Let me grab her. Okay. Like, hey, can you do a three-way call with my friend? She's nice. They're like, no, I'm busy right now. Okay, talk to you later. Like, that never, ever works. So I always just say a great time to back out is they've asked you a question. Whether you know the question's answer or not, just use that as your escape to get on the three-way call. Inviting to a live event. So I might have a friend who lives in a different town, and if there's a live event in her area and maybe she's seen a video and she's thinking about it and she's on the edge, but I really want her to go to a live event, I might try to get somebody on the phone that either is in my upline that says, I know people there and they're great and they can edify that marketplace is wonderful, or maybe somebody that's in that actual market. Because when somebody on the phone says, we would love to have you, I did it just this week for, it was actually for you, Erica. One of her prospects lived in Oklahoma City. We wanted her to come to our market party, and Erica's invited her several times, sent her the flyer, told her about it. She's never come. So we did a three-way this week, and I just chatted with her and said, cannot wait to meet you Tuesday night. You'll have so much fun. I want to introduce you to my friend Vanessa. You'll love her story. We just have a great time, this and that. Guess who's going to come on Tuesday? I mean, it's a people business. Just be nice to people and invite them and do it. Oh, she's signing up. Okay. So we're welcoming our new brand partner at the market party on Tuesday night. But inviting to a live event actually works. So if you just send somebody a flyer or whatever, same thing with the blitzes. I've just never really seen it work. So three-way calls execute that behavior a lot better. To sign up, you know, when somebody says, okay, I'm in, I'm just deciding which path, or, you know, okay, I'm going to do it, I just am waiting for the right time. Oh, I want you to hear my friend's story real quick. And you're basically telling them they've said yes in every language, but they haven't done it. What do I do? Three-way call. Because I'm just like, wow, I'll create that sense of urgency or whatever it is. Experts do it all different ways. But I can just say, like, why the heck haven't you signed up? Like, and just say it differently than like that person, somebody that you're friends with, and it's like really hard to just be like, when are you going to do it? Like, it's hard to close the deal. The third party, it's really easy to be like, oh, you're crazy. Let's get in. Let's get you in. Are you at a computer? I mean, you know, just to kind of just, you know, say it in a little bit more direct manner, because it's hard to do to a friend. Welcome calls we do all the time. I can't stress to you enough the fact that the most nervous time for somebody is when they first get started. And they need to hear from a few people that it's going to be okay, right? You know, just, hey, welcome, we're here to help, call me anytime. I'd love, you know, to go over what I did or this or that. A new brand partner is going to get started a lot better, so we do those all the time. And then it just creates duplication. Anybody can put somebody else on the phone. I mean, the wheel, if everybody's getting stuck, or maybe some are getting sponsored without that three-way call, it's like the secret potion. I can automatically look at somebody and say, I know what's wrong with your business. Three-way calls. This happens a lot at our house. I tell my nanny, Nick's three-way, and she's just like, it's always weird to me when you say that. This is just the most important thing. It's not about you. Your business and the success of your business really isn't about you. It's your job to share, and then it's your job to get somebody else in front of them. So these just give you some of the messenger phrases. I always say to the person on the phone, what do you like best about the video that you saw? And then they tell me, well, the Lexus. Oh my gosh, I love my Lexus. Let me tell you how that happened. And I just go into that instead of spending 30 minutes talking about stuff that they don't care about. So I always say that even when I'm the expert. And then maybe the other question that people really want to know is, well, how does it actually go down? What am I supposed to do? So let me just go over that real quick. Every expert's a little bit different, but when I'm on a three-way call for somebody, here's what I like it to look like. I don't like for somebody to get me on the phone and talk about how well we've done or anything like that. I would much rather the person already know than to have me listen to it. So what I say is, when's a good time? And maybe you've arranged it already. Let me also, I spend a lot of time on three-way calls because I think it's so important in your business. But people have a lot of hard times nailing down the time or when or how, what that looks like. So I always say I don't have an expert ready or I don't have anybody. I just say, hey, I'm crazy busy right now. I'm at the grocery store, got the kids screaming, all that. Do you have time later tonight? Okay, yeah, this time? Okay, awesome. I'll call you back then. Okay, so now I've already arranged it and I can make sure and have who I want to instead of just like somebody. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. Sometimes it all just works out. It's like on a fly, it just happens. But if you're struggling finding a time to really nail down, I always blame me. I can't do it right now. When can you? Okay, great. This time works. Okay. So then when I set it up, I'm like, hey, awesome. This time, I'm glad that I don't have screaming kids and that they're in bed right now. Okay, great. So I was really thinking that, when you were saying the other day that, you wanted more time with your family and you'd love to be a stay-at-home mom, I thought of my friend, and that's actually what she's been able to do with her Nerium business. And this afternoon I talked to her and she said that she'd love to just tell you kind of about how it worked for her. And she's available right now too, so I'm just going to let her tell you. Okay. And so then that's just a story. Now when you're putting on an expert and say you're saying, wow, you were talking about like real, dream job income. It's like part of my support team, got started. This is how, I don't want to tell you all the details, but they're making a ridiculous amount of money. They have like tons of Lexus earners on their team. And they're really going to be able to tell you like all about like the science and all that kind of stuff because I'm just brand new. And so now I've already been talked about, but whenever I get put on the phone, I want to know about that person. If you've already told me that you went to high school together, they've seen this video, they like this, that's awesome, except they don't know that, and so it's kind of weird. So I like to come onto the line, oh, hi, so-and-so, this is so-and-so. I was telling, her earlier about you and everything and how you, now are a stay-at-home mom and this and that for just a short, brief time, talk about a little bit of detail, and then just say, but you know what, this person would be great for any of these reasons. She saw this video, she loved the idea of a Lexus. I know she could get a Lexus with Nerium, right? You've seen all different types of people, but I just wanted her to get to talk to you and, she has some questions, and I know you'd be able to answer them all with the perfect information because you know everything. So I want to introduce you to my friend so-and-so. Now, I kind of feel like I can talk to him. When I get, thrown in and it's like, Natalie, this is Joan. I'm like, well, hi, Joan. My name's Natalie, and that's real weird. She doesn't have questions. She gets off the phone real quick because it just kind of was weird. So be very friendly. I kind of say, if you went to a high school reunion and this was your best friend from high school and that married somebody from college, you wouldn't just walk up to him and be like, oh, I knew you from high school and you from college. here you go, and like walk off. I would say, hi, so Sarah was my friend from high school. Gosh, we go way back. We grew up together, this and that, and you're my friend in college, and you guys remind me of each other, and you're totally like going to be having so much fun tonight. Can't believe we're all here, da 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 da, and then you might walk off. But they would like stay and talk. So imagine the three-way. I kind of have to just give analogies that you've got to talk about this person and that person and why they're going to like each other. And then every three-way call that goes like that, when I do kind of share my story and then say, you have questions, they're already asking me things. They're listening. It's working. When I get off, they're signing up. So definitely, like, if you're afraid to do it, just do it. Go screw it up 5 times. Doesn't matter. The 6th time you'll be better. The 7th time you'll be better. A year from now you'll be like three-way call extraordinaire, top of the recruiting charts, because it actually really, really works. So the live events that we have, market parties, absolutely.